How will Dalish raise an army that way?
We do not have an army. A single clan, however, is a deadly force. If we can provide the Grey Wardens with even a handful of clans, you will want for no army.
You don't know for sure what the other Dalish are?
The clans wander where they will, and we have no way of communicating with each other. Once every 10 years, the clans come together for a gathering called Arlathven. And there, the site for the next gathering is chosen. But until that day, we meet only in chance passing.
That doesn't sound very efficient.
No, but should the Shemlen ever decide to wipe us out, they will at least not learn the location of our clans from each other.
I'll leave you to that.
Darth Shiral, fare you well.
Alright. La 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 la. La la la. See if we can trigger a conversation. Whoa. Damn it. Never mind.
Huh.
Let's head to camp.
I've a question, if I may.
Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity.
Does your oath expire then?
Not precisely. I said I would serve you until you saw fit to release me. One simply assumes that once your Grey Warden business is finished, you would have no need of an assassin to follow you about. Am I wrong?
I could always use a friend.
Oh, not more than friends?
No, definitely not.
Spoil sport. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes?
That's great.
Oh, hello. Is there something you wanted to talk about?
No, I thought you looked like you wanted to talk though.
It's nothing, I'm fine. I'm just thinking.
What about?
I can't get what happened out of my head. I'd been in Lothering for years, and she still thought I was plotting against her. She didn't trust me. Maybe she never did. She loved me when she could use me and control me. And now that she can't, she wants me dead. It hurts to realize that I never really knew her.
Huh. Maybe you did and did want to admit it.
I knew she was ruthless, but I didn't know how far she could go. She is self-serving, cruel. She uses people, then discards them. But that's how she survives in the life she leads. What if she's right? What if we're the same? I should just have stayed in the Chantry.
And you think that would have made it better?
You don't understand. I forgot my life as a bard while I was in the cloister. I felt safe. I didn't have to watch my back all the time. That's what made Marjolaine the person she is, don't you see? It ruined her. It will ruin me too. It's already happened. When we killed her, I enjoyed it. Seeing her dead gave me satisfaction.
So, she deserved it.
But that is no reason to rejoice over her death. That is what she would do. I don't want that. What we're doing, what we've done, hunted men down, killed them. Part of me loves it. It invigorates me, and this scares me. I feel myself slipping.
Don't punish yourself for doing something you enjoy.
I admit that I took great pleasure in the intrigue back in Orlais. It was dangerous and chaotic and exciting, but it destroyed my life. I thought the Chantry showed me another path. I thought I was done with this life. Am I wrong?
But even in the Chantry, you know you didn't belong.
There is this thought that floats into my mind constantly. That I lie when I say the Chantry gave me peace, when in truth it bored me. Here, with you, knowing the freedom of the road and the uncertainty of tomorrow, I feel alive again.
Go with what your instincts tell you.
I would like to be alone for now. I have many things to consider. Thank you for listening to me.
Okay. Hello.
What's on your mind?
Bye-bye. Was there something we could do to cure you?
Cure me? What, am I sick now?
In a sense?
Even you know that you cannot cure the dead. And I'm not the only one dying. You are too. I'm just more efficient about it. Ah, child. Your concern is heartwarming. But death comes to everyone, and it is not something to fear.
You're not afraid?
People fear not death, but having life taken from them. Many waste the life given to them, occupying themselves with things that do not matter. When the end comes, they say they did not have time enough to spend with loved ones, to fulfill dreams, to go on adventures they only talked about. But why should you fear death if you are happy with the life you have led? If you can look back on everything and say, yes, I am content. It is enough.
Because we always want more.
Ah, human nature. You are right. Some people will never be content and will always want more. I think I've led a good life, a full life, and I, for one, am not afraid of death, whatever it may bring. They say that when you die, your spirit travels through the fade and returns to the Maker. And after that, we'll see, won't we? What's on your mind?
Do you have any regrets at all?
I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else.
What did you do?
Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority.
Huh. But the mages treat the elves and humans alike.
All he knew of the humans was what he had seen in the alienage. He was very wary of us. What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home, time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult.
Huh. And what did he think of you?
Oh, I dread to think. I was a harsh taskmistress. He might have thought I was a demon in disguise. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him.
What happened to Anarin?
Anarin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down.
Why didn't they just bring him back to the tower?
They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him.
That was cruel of them.
I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed in Aaron. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves.
Maybe he did find the Dalish.
The Templars are well trained and thorough. That he still lives, it would be a vain hope. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student.
See, there's the bright side.
And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
We got a quest. When spoke to you about the first people she took under her wing, an elf named Inarian. She was quite harsh and drove them away, blah blah blah, spoke Dalish elves. So maybe if we talk to the Dalish. Hello.
You called.
Question.
I am hardly surprised.
Never mind.
Very well.
Something you
Speak
mentioned?
then.
What was that about children?
What were they doing? It did not look like it served any purpose.
They were playing?
That word means nothing to me.
What do Kunari children do if they don't play?
They study.
That's all they do?
They learn their place in the world.
That explains a lot about you, Sten.
Your priests clearly should have spent more time training you.
That's not what priests do.
Then who trained the Emekari?
What? The parents, of course.
Parents. Are you speaking nonsense on purpose? If you insist on speaking, use real words.
You must know what parents are.
Must I? Then explain it to me with intelligible words. We have Tamasrans. I do not know this other thing of yours. But the Emekari are not theirs. They belong to the Kunari, not the priesthood.
What the heck? Parents don't own children, they're the ones who birth them.
You let your Emekari be raised by them? That explains much. Can we move on? Very well.
Why don't Kunari raise their own children?
It obviously didn't work for you.
What's that supposed to mean?
You are a Grey Warden, yet you know little of your own order. You do not know yourself or what you are for. It was cruel of your people to leave you this way. The Tamasrans see that all Kunari know themselves.
I do know who and what I am.
Why do you hesitate? It is your task to fight the Archdemon, isn't it?
We haven't finished with our preparations yet.
If you fail, preparation beforehand will have been pointless, and if you succeed, it will be by sheer chance anyway.
What do you want me to do? Charge straight at the Archdemon?
At least we would be going in the right direction. I weary of this. Can we move on? Very well.
Why do you let Tamar's rounds control your life?
What makes it mine? It was theirs to begin with.
You don't belong to them.
They knew me before I was born. I was birthed on the day they chose, placed in the world by their hands. When I die, it will be the Tamasrans who note my passing. I am their work. What I do is for my people, always.
I've never had these conversations with Stem before. It's interesting. They made you, but they can't make decisions for you.
No need. I have been trained to choose as they would. There is little point in pursuing this. We should move on. Very well.
What did you mean about fiends in Zaheron?
Ours wear the faces of men.
Do you mean they're abominations?
No. They do not have the excuse of demons within them. Darkspawn, abominations, plagues, and storms. Men are far more dangerous than these. One moment of betrayal can bring more ruin than an earthquake. You know this.
What did they do?
They are Tal-Vashoth. They say they are Grey Ones. True in the knowledge of themselves. They are gaping holes where men used to be. Nothing can fill them.
What do they want?
I don't know. There was a village in the mountains of Zaheron. Farmers. They grew cinnamon and nutmeg trees in perfectly ordered rows. There would always be one person waiting, a foreman, a harvester, rank didn't matter. Often they would say nothing. Simply watch as we worked to examine the empty house, a new one each time, that had once been the home of a colleague, a friend. We always made a point of searching. Now and then a body would turn up in a river eaten by rain and crows. More often we found nothing. Even in the worst parts of the jungle, the villagers would send someone with us to see the tiniest piece of bone or cloth. Anything contained the possibility of their lost friend. Must we speak of this? We could be fighting something.
I have
Very
a question.
well.
Why do the Tal-Vashoth fight you?
Isn't it the nature of a wound to bleed? I have no more answers than you. Why do we fight the Darkspawn? Why do the Darkspawn fight us?
Don't the Tal-Vashoth give reasons?
Now and then. Do the reasons matter? It makes little difference to those they fight. Tell me then, why do you fight?
Because I have to?
Yes, there is no other reason. The Tal-Vashoth wish us dead, and we wish to go on living. The point of our war is war. Very
More
well.
questions? Maybe the Tal-Vashoth have a point.
Undoubtedly, they've used it to kill countless people.
A lot of what you said about the Canary is oppressive.
So is death.
You've gone back to speaking cryptic, I see.
There are times when words fail. Very well.
No, no,
Then I
that's it.
suggest we move on.
Okay,
As you wish.
well, let's do it to my... +10. Good. I thought it might be in bed. Hello.
Your desire?
Talk?
So, full of questions, are you?
Nope.
Your desire? We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Nice kiss.
What's this? 'Tis a rather odd discussion you seem to desire, leaning in so closely.
Humour me.
Oh, it's humor you desire. I didn't realize comedy had anything to do with this.
Only if we do it wrong.
How true. Let us do it right, then.
Hello.
I've watched a lot of humans in my time. It should be aware that I've decided that it is not much like any of them.
That's super. Thanks, Shell.
Surely it must come from some superior lineage, yes? Some breed of flesh creature that has decided to elevate its genetic stock above its natural shortcomings?
Well, I am a mage.
Oh, then that must be it. I knew there had to be some reason, it being a human and all. I would appreciate if it didn't spread around that I said anything. Humans might start to get the wrong idea. They might start thinking their race is not completely hopeless.
Huh. And we wouldn't want that.
Indeed. Can it imagine the horror? Oh. Now, let us crush something into a fine paste before it starts to think I've gone all soft. Perish the thought.
Wow.
It
We talk more?
speaks.
Questions?
It doesn't have better things to do.
Doesn't like humans much.
That is true. I do not. I'm not interested in getting into a discussion on the subject, however. Ask another time. If it is done asking overly obvious questions, let us find some humans to throw off a cliff or something.
Okay. Alistair.
You know, I've been thinking.
What have you been thinking about?
Back when we left Goldana's, you told me I needed to look out for myself more than I do. I'm beginning to think you were right. I need to stop letting everyone else make my decisions for me. I need to take a stand and think about myself for a change, or I'm never going to be happy.
It's about time, I say.
Then from this point on, I'll be looking out for myself more. I should have done this a long time ago. I just wanted to thank you. You've been a great friend through all of this. The one bright spot in everything that's happened.
You're a good friend, sir.
Let's go. We've got a lot left to do.
Alright. We've hardened up Alistair, so he's not big as a wimp now.
Ask away.
Questions?
Of course.
What was it like to be a Grey Warden with all the
I
others?
didn't know them for very long, but I guess it was longer than you. You never met them all, did you? They were quite a group. Actually, they felt like an extended family since we were all cut off from our former lives. We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time... Well, you probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know.
Oh, I'd like to hear about that.
There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfels. What was his name? Gregor. He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen. And the man could drink. He drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Sometimes. We were kin of a sort. All of us had gone through the joining, so we knew... Well, anyhow, it doesn't have to be deadly serious all the time. Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out. I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly...
A lot of people have died, Alistair, and a lot more will.
Yes, I suppose so. I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by. Nothing at all. There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you.
You have your memories of him.
I just would have liked something of his to take with me, that's all. Well, there's no use in moaning about it, is there? He's gone. Let's just go.
Alright. So we saw to Liliana. Did we speak to Severin?
Here I am.
Questions?
Oh, this should be good.
Never mind.
Here I am.
Personal?
Oh, this should be good.
Never mind. Doggy! Bounces around back and excitedly. Pet Buster rolls around happily on his back. Okay. We have gifts for people. We have a ton of shit. Liliana.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
Anyone? Right. Cake. We don't need those.
Enchantment?
Literally. Let's see. No. Okay. Lister has Merrick's blade and Kaelin's shield. Is this better? Nope. Shayla's shitty stuff. Yeah. Is this stuff better than what I got? A bit. Okay. Armor. Is there anything called Buster? No. Nope. Buster, can you... As a big boost to armor, so very more fancy. And yeah. What are you wearing? Yeah, that's pretty good. Grey Warden Commander helmet. Oh, it doesn't require any stats. Oh.